Have you ever felt like you're holding yourself back, like you're shrinking yourself, even though you know that you were meant for more? It's not because you're lazy, it's because you're blocked. It's the shadows. The shadows have trained you to stay small. The shadows have trained you to hide your voice, to suppress your fire, to downplay your power, because somewhere, someone made you believe that that was the only way you could stay safe. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to break that spell and reclaim the archetype that was buried beneath that fear. You see, when the fear of criticism or rejection dominates your decisions, it's not just a mindset, that's conditioning, it's programming. And the most direct way to break that programming is to stop asking yourself, well, what's wrong with me? And start asking, well, who would I be if I were free? And the answer to that helps you to tap into your sacred archetype. And embodying that archetype, even for 5 minutes a day, starts to rewire your nervous system. It reawakens your presence in the world and it activates your leadership energy that no longer asks for permission. But one time, a man came to me. He was a successful business owner. He had a great deal of initiative. He was a very deeply spiritual man, but he was playing small. He knew he had ideas that could change people's lives, but every time he went to post or to speak up or give a presentation or a class, he started to freeze. Well, we took a look at that fear and we traced it back, not to past failures, but it went far back into childhood, to a father who mocked his confidence, to his time in the church that looked at his ambition with shame and ridicule. And he even had a mentor who was talking to him about humility is invisibility. And so when we were working on this thing, I asked him, who would you be without all of that programming? And he was like, I'd feel like a king. I'd be like sovereign. I would be filled with sovereign energy. So we built a ritual around that sovereign archetype. And 5 minutes a day, he visualized entering the sovereign's throne room. And within a month, his voice changed. His presence landed. He started publishing bold spiritual content that was unapologetic. It was clear. It was regal. And it wasn't because he got more confidence, but it was because he stopped abandoning that part of him that already was confident, that was already regal and powerful. Another time, I remember the first time I said something truly controversial on camera, not for edgy clicks or clout, but to express a sacred truth that makes people squirm. That kind of truth. I like to plant seeds. I like to be a little bit provocative. It's part of my job as a shadow worker. And I have to admit that first time I was terrified, but not for being wrong, but for really showing that part of myself and to be seen. I'd given myself flashes of people who told me that this was too intense, this is BS, this is nonsense, or those spiritual communities that would reject me for not saying something that was in their own comfort zone. And so I almost deleted that video. But then I remembered that archetype I'd been working with, the wild man. This is the one who is willing to speak inconvenient truths, the one who is willing to be misunderstood if it means that the real message gets through. So I posted it. And yeah, some people gave me some crap for it. Some people stopped following, but who cares? I gained something that was a lot more important, the clarity of my voice. And I started to speak to the exact audience who was waiting for me to stop holding back. So here's what I want to give to you today. I want you to take a moment, just close your eyes, take a breath, let your mind sink inward, and ask yourself this question: who is the version of me that does not play small? Is that the sovereign? Is that like a king energy? Is that like a warrior, a sacred warrior? Is that the wild man, the wild woman, a flame bearer, someone who could speak the burning truths? And I want you to name him. I want you to see him. And tomorrow morning, for just 5 minutes, I want you to be him. I want you to walk like him. I want you to stand like him. I want you to speak like him. I even want you to post something like him. Try that for 7 days. And you're going to feel a shift, not just spiritually, but magnetically. And this work, this deep identity reclamation and shadow alchemy, is at the heart of the veiled path. It's not about fixing yourself, it's about breaking the spiritual obedience spell that has kept you silent. And if you feel that you've been holding back your voice, you've been shrinking your power, you've been hiding your presence, well, then it's time. It's time to walk that veiled path with me. I want you to follow the link in the content below to see if this is right for you. And I'll see you there. Hail.